Sadio Mane's star is clearly on the rise after he was the ace in the hole for Liverpool in their victory in the Champions League over Bayern Munich. Now with Porto on the horizon in the quarter-finals. Shaka, just a word on a player who seems to get better and better. How decisive do you think he will be going forward as Liverpool try on these two fronts for glory?
I think Sadio Mane can be Liverpool's most important player. I thought you saw that last year in the Champions League final once Mo Salah came off. I thought Sadio Mane stepped up and was easily Liverpool's most important player on the day, grabbing a goal himself that night. But as they push now, looking for not just a Champions League final berth yet again, but that elusive league title. And given Jurgen Klopp's style, high energy, high pressing, Sadio Mane is perfectly suited. Given the amount of ground that he covers, given the pace that he simply runs with, is frightening for any defence, vital on the counter-attack, and in front of goal, he can be simply outstanding when he's ready. I admit there are times that sometimes his finishing does let him down slightly. But I think Sadio Mane, both in terms of his attitude and his own performances, can be the player that, if Liverpool are to win either of these two trophies, I think his role is absolutely vital. Yeah,
he seems to be the perfect Klopp player. Even when Klopp signed him from Southampton, people thought, well, that's because he wants to play a certain system and things. But has he surprised you in how well he has really adapted and become a linchpin in terms of helping other players find him and his engine?
Yes, he has, and without question. I think what Sadio Mane does and does well, or probably better than anybody else in the league, is feed off of others. Feed off of whether it's Firmino or Salah or Shaqiri or whoever else is in the team, understand what they're doing, understand what they want, and then take up positions according to what he expects them to do. As a result, he's hard to read. He's hard to pick up. He finds little pockets of spaces, and as I mentioned, he can finish well. So that is the strength of his game that is so hard to counterattack. And yes, as you mentioned, coming from Southampton, people weren't quite sure what to expect. And I think with each season, he's gotten better and better. And in Jurgen Klopp's side, continue to be more and more important with each passing season.
So how long do you think it will be until he really steps out of the shadow of the likes of Mo Salah and the likes of Firmino? Do you think that people will start to look at him in either the same vein or even more important?
I think people appreciate Sadio Mane for what he does and sees him in his own light, so to speak. This tells his own story. In 20 Champions League matches, how many goals he's got, when you consider his return in the knockout stages as well, he sees himself as a big game player. Now, I don't think Sadio Mane is ever going to grab the headlines, certainly on the back pages, from the likes of Firmino or Salah. But I think observers of the game who understand the roles that individuals have to play in a team, in any successful team, already appreciate what Sadio Mane does and what he brings to this team. And he's at a club and at a platform that I think suits him well. And I think more and more people will begin to recognize that. Again, maybe he won't grab the column inches on the back pages, but his reputation continues to grow in footballing circles.
Yeah, and the professionalism that he's shown at Liverpool as well, it seems like he's adapted very clearly to the move, and that must make him highly sought after in terms of, you know, other managers around the world, other styles of team would be looking at a player like him and thinking, well, I can get him. He has a maturity about him.
There's any number of big clubs in world football who are now talking about rebuilding their teams. There's the Bayern Munichs and the Real Madrids of this world, who I am sure would have one eye firmly fixed on Sadio Mane. But like I said, he's at a club and a platform that Liverpool are a big club themselves. You just have to look at their own history in European football. I know it's been a while since a league title, but Liverpool can compete in those circles with those clubs. So maybe Sadio Mane just sees himself in the right place at the right time with the right manager. You're still not sure exactly where those other clubs are going to go in either the short or the medium term.
Okay, so Sadio Mane, a player who fits perfectly with his manager's vision, seems to fit perfectly in the mould at Melwood and at Anfield with Liverpool, appreciates where he is and continues the hard work. Maybe, just maybe, he will be the key as they search for glory this year.